Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Doc T, and this is Dr. Deonson.
Hey.
This is our masseuse extraordinaire, Daniel.
Nice
We're doing a nice little, you like that? I've never called him Daniel in our whole relationship of 2+ years, and I didn't even know he went by Daniel. That seemed
I have a funny story with that. Tom, I used to work with Tom at a different clinic, and Tom always called me Dan. He was the only person. I'm pretty sure I introduced myself to him as Daniel, and he called me Dan, and then he's the one that introduced me to you.
Correct.
So he brought me into this clinic, and now everybody here knows me as Dan.
That's funny how that worked
Kind
out.
of crazy.
Yeah,
That works.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Well, I'm calling you Daniel from now on. So, like a friend of our patient of ours, Kate, I found out her name was actually Catherine.
Oh.
So she has not been called anything else since.
Yeah.
And she's like, only my dad calls me Catherine. I'm like, Catherine, Dad, put me on that side. That's cool. So we got Daniel with us. So we're gonna have a little fun with him, introducing him to all of you out there. And we're gonna start with some fun questions. So Dr. Deonson is gonna start us off.
Oh yeah. Obviously we're talking about more massage and everything here. I guess what got you into being a massage therapist?
Yeah, I mean, I was always active growing up, and I started off, going to school for athletic training. Wanted to always work with athletes, and quickly found out that there's not too many opportunities as an athletic trainer, and even if you do it, you're like the one athletic trainer of like a small college.
Mm-hmm. It's insane.
And
insane.
I enjoyed it a lot, just the hands-on experience of it, and then decided PT would be the route for me. So I went to school, studied at Long Beach State, got my degree in kinesiology, exercise science.
49ers.
Where is it? The 49ers?
Long
The
Beach
Sharks?
State. Long Beach State. Sharks now?
And then they're
What's
like
Long
the
Beach?
sandbags or something like that?
Sandbags.
I didn't go there.
They have dirt bags.
They're bags?
Something like that.
I didn't go to Long
somebody
They
Beach
have
correct
State.
us
different masks.
badly.
They have
You
different
guys
masks.
Let's switch
I didn't
topics. Anyway, Long Beach State, moving on.
Long Beach State, studied kinesiology, exercise science, and then, with intentions of going into PT school.
Mm-hmm.
But, I've worked at different PT clinics, and, it just kind of really didn't make sense for me to take on all that student debt while going to school, and then just the ROI with insurances kind of paying out, less and less.
Yeah.
That was just kind of the advice that was given to me, and I did my own thorough research and just realized, there's other ways and alternatives to kind of do what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And so last minute, I signed up for MT school and
MT?
massage therapy.
Oh, there you go. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've never heard it referenced as MT before. Have you?
Really?
No, I just heard massage school.
I think it's just more a school term.
Is it
more-
old? Is it like it's a new term?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Who
maybe.
knows? All right, good.
And I quickly found out I wanted to do this because I shadowed a guy named Chris Donlin, and he was an ART specialist. Or he just practiced a lot of ART. He had with a massage therapy certification, and he really wanted to do that. He had a mid-career change when he was 50, and he got his TPI, he got his FMS, he got all these different certifications, and I saw that and I was like, wow, that's kind of a cool way to kind of go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And just ultimately the goal is to help people.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have a true passion for helping people move better and inspiring people to move and preaching quality movement, and soft tissue is just one of the ways that I believe can help. Right, it's just one tiny piece of the puzzle, but if you can help somebody, especially in this setting where everybody kind of specializes with different things, that I can kind of accomplish that passion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got into MT and quickly kind of found different certifications to kind of add to the toolbox.
Sure.
And even with massage therapy, I kind of utilize it as like just one piece, one tool, right? And I got my certification in ART recently. Went to Vegas, had a lot of fun with that.
You had a lot of fun in Vegas, no way.
I had a lot of fun
I
in
find
Vegas.
that really hard to believe.
And then, I'm coaching right now, something called Hyrox, as you guys might have heard. I think you're working with one of the Fitness on Fire clients, David. So coaching with at a gym called Primitive Movement, and we're affiliated with Hyrox. And it's just been so fun, just, inspiring people to move and do it properly. And it's just a blast.
Nice.
But yeah, so here I am working with SHARC with amazing doctors and just very intellectual people like you. And David and Alvin and Nandi and Justin. It's just been great.
Good. Yeah, we're happy to have you. We're very fortunate to have you.
Yeah, remind me to pay you the $20. later for saying
For
all
saying
that.
that, yes. Yes. So that's funny. So when you got to massage school and you were getting out, how did you determine where you're going to go? What did you want to do?
Yeah. So during the MT school, I was working at a PT clinic where I previously mentioned I met Tom.
Yeah.
I worked there for like 4 or 5 years, and
As a masseuse?
no. So as like a PTA trainer.
Oh, neat. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. And then I was going to school while doing that.
Okay.
And then Tom brought up the fact that he was
Yeah, I was looking for a massage therapist.
exactly.
Yeah. Somebody can work
So-
Saturdays.
It was just kind of crazy how all that worked out, because immediately
It works out funny.
it
Yeah.
clicked.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I'm like truly grateful for. Like, I feel like everything in my life has just been kind of opportunities have just kind of been presented to me.
Yeah, as long as you're paying attention, yeah.
Yeah,
Truly, honestly, opportunity is only there if you see it,
for sure.
right? You miss
Yeah.
it, then it wasn't there anyway. So
Definitely.
yeah. It's a funny thing.
It is. And I definitely attribute a little bit of that to myself, because I'm a go-getter, and I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to achieve my potential, regardless of whether that's competing in races or in my career or everyday life.
Well, that's a good way. I mean, you're a Hyrox athlete, so
Yep.
you do train Hyrox. So how did you get into that?
Yeah, totally. So going back to just always being active and growing up, I played football and ran track and field in high school. So a lot of just the anaerobic, just like super short burst movements. So I ran the sprinting events, so the 100 meter, the 4x1, 200,
Explains
400.
the calves. Okay. Now I'm getting it. Yeah.
Yep. And
Makes
then
sense.
I played running back and corner and safety
Okay.
in football. So, but despite that, running and fitness has always been kind of something that I was interested in, but never really fully kind of dove in. And Hyrox has been this like amazing, like I got introduced to it last year.
Yeah.
And it has been this like amazing like second chance at like being an athlete.
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's like the coolest thing with Hyrox, because Hyrox is an indoor fitness race. For those that don't know, it consists of 8 kilometers of running, right? That's broken up into 1Ks. And in between each 1K, you have a station, and the station is like, it's very functional movement, sled push, sled pull, ski erg, row erg, wall balls, stuff like that. It sounds easy, but it's pretty tough when you're doing it, because you're going between the two different,
Modalities.
modalities
Yeah.
and different energy systems that you're
Yeah.
hitting. It's a lot of exertion, but they do a really good job. And these races are usually held inside convention centers. Immediately you walk in and there's like all these people just dressed to compete, right? So it's like you feel like you walked into like an Olympic like event,
Right.
like where you're the athletes. There's like a bunch of good music playing. There's a DJ playing like AC/DC and country music and just everything that I like.
Are you being paid to sell Hyrox right now?
It
Are
sounds
you on
like
the
it.
hook? Are you on the hook?
I am affiliated, but
What's affiliated mean?
so with the gym, we're like partnered with Hyrox.
Okay.
So we pay a subscription
Okay.
to Hyrox to basically be sponsoring, like say that we're a Hyrox gym.
Like a partnership. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha. But what specifically? Like you could have been a triathlete, you could have been a CrossFitter, I mean,
Oh.
all kinds of things.
For sure.
How did you end up at Hyrox specific?
Yeah, I mean Hyrox is just one of the things that I'm doing right now.
Oh, do tell.
Yep.
Yeah, I do marathon. I've done a couple half marathons now. And
You realize we have cars, right? You don't need to run that far.
yeah.
I tease all my marathoners, don't. It's funny.
Yeah.
The ultra ones are the best. I run 100 miles. I'm like, dude, drive. There's no need to run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not
is-
the Middle Ages.
That is one of my goals too.
100?
Yeah. Ultra marathon definitely at some point, but I want to do an Ironman by 30. So that's like the main goal.
What are you, 19 now? 16? How old are you?
27.
I just see the Beach Boys going, that's nice.
27.
For 100 or for Ironman?
For an Ironman. The only thing that's kind of holding me back right now is the cost. It's like 7K to 13K to do an Ironman, because you have all the equipment.
Oh, in that sense,
yeah.
there's other ways to do it.
Are
I'd say that a friend of mine, I can hook you up with him. He's because we were CrossFit endurance coaches,
Yeah.
so we coached Ironman all the time.
Oh, that's
So there's a
awesome.
lot of ways around that, but there still is a built-in cost. It's mostly the training.
Yeah.
The training crushes. Like I think the highest divorce rate of any patient group I've ever seen
Yeah.
is Ironman.
So do it while I'm single.
Yeah, you just do as much as you can while single. Not that
sure.
you can't when you get married, but though endurance events just to have a natural time suck.
Yeah.
Because when you're riding a bike, like, if you're training for Hyrox, your workout's 45 minutes an hour. You can do 2 a day, separate them up, you're fine.
For sure.
you're going that kind of thing, you have to be on your bike 8 hours on Saturday,
Totally.
8 hours on Sunday. It just takes a toll. But it's not poo-pooing the idea. Just those are things to consider. But yeah, reach out. Let me know when you're serious about that training starting, because I have a coach that I can hook you up to kind of help guide you a little bit, because there's a lot of considerations. Yeah, sure. A lot of things you may not have thought about, because it's far different than Hyrox.
Oh, definitely.
Like monumentally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen blue people or poop or peed yourself while you're actively running, you have not lived yet.
Yeah. That's the stuff I want to see.
All right. So now let's move to some other questions. We know why Daniel became a masseuse. We know why Daniel wants to run his brains out in a marathon, ultramarathon, Ironman, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't like cars.
I do like cars.
So he's anti-car. So speaking of cars, go ahead, hit it. Oh, you got to give me one.
No, I was.
Boom, boom.
I don't know where that one is. There you go.
Oh. On the money.
Sometimes these kids just don't know how to just go for it. So anyway,
What's this one?
so
There you go. That's the one I like.
he is. I will contend. I will say one thing. I worked with Daniel now for a couple of years. My biggest frustration with him is also the one thing that I love about him is I cannot pin him down. My man is always on the go, and trying to communicate and get him pinned down for this took a month and a half.
Yep.
So we're very happy he's here. Very, very glad. So where was I going to go with that? Speaking of cars, Daniel was fortunate enough to experience something in life that not many people get to do, and I recommend they all should. It's just it makes you thankful for a bed. He got to live in his car for a week.
I did.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was actually it was 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It was
Wow.
2 weeks. It was yeah. I was transitioning from one state of my life to another, and and I've always been a pretty adventurous kind of person.
For sure.
Super outdoorsy, and I love the idea of potentially sleeping out of my car.
Try
And
it.
I bought that car just a car camp, and I've never really done it.
And he came to
But-
me and asked me one day, and I was like, hell yes. You absolutely should do that. I've done it. Have you ever done it?
For a couple nights.
Yeah,
I
I've done
wouldn't-
4 nights. I've never done a week.
Yeah,
That was...
I wouldn't recommend it.
No,
It's not.
I say do it, but definitely like a couple nights, 3 days, you'll get something out of it. I had an MX-6 when I did mine. The back seats folded down and I laid out completely.
Yeah.
But the trunk was on my face.
Yeah.
Which is trippy. But 2
Yeah.
weeks.
2 weeks. Fortunately enough, I had a friend that owns a gym, and he had showers. He
Oh, perfect.
newly
Yeah.
made showers and everything. So
Yeah.
I was clean.
I just used
wasn't-
24-hour fitness because I was a member. So I just roll in, shower, roll back out. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was transitioning from one place to another, and I had this 1 month period where I was just going to be like, let me just try
Couch
this.
surfing,
Yeah,
sleep in the car.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try it, and why not?
Yeah.
That was the time.
The
So-
experience you get with that, as we always talk about this, experiences, that's fundamentally a great experience for you. Now, it sucked, I'm sure, especially that
I like it.
duration.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't. And now, mind you, comfort. Were you in the front seat, side seat? Where'd you sleep?
Oh, in the back. I like you. I
had
just
the fold
folded
downs?
everything down. And
Really?
then-
I still love that.
yeah, and
You didn't like it?
I had a mattress. I had
Yeah,
a
I didn't have
not a mattress like those inflatable like sleeping mats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's spoiler rotten.
it was nice.
That's like glamping. That's not even camping
Yeah.
anymore.
I hate glamping. What's the point? What's even the point of glamping at that point?
You're just going to the hotel and then you go play in the not creek, the river, the lake.
Could be the creek.
The lake, the creek. Well, we had creeks, yeah. Crick. That's what my mom always called crick. Anyway, she's from Pennsylvania. That's another, yeah. Anyway, so, okay. So I had to bring that story up. So it was a fun experience, good experience. I'm sure you hated it, but it is good for you.
I'm one of those people that
Makes the man you are today.
Yeah, exactly.
it does.
And you are thankful for a bed,
Yeah,
thankful for a room. Yes. Being
Yes.
thankful is good.
I'm always try things once and then know whether
When
you like it or
done is
not.
fine.
Yeah. 'Cause I got to run with the bulls, and that's the same thing. It's just like I probably would never do that
okay.
again.
That's fine.
No, that's so. Speaking of like, that's one that I am a hair curious, but I've always been a fan of like your hobby shouldn't kill you.
Oh yeah,
But running with the bulls seems like kind of an interesting adrenaline.
yeah.
like-
I was 18. I was 18, so I was
Perfect.
pretty dumb.
Yeah, different mindset at that point.
Yeah,
Completely. That was only 9 years ago, and it's amazing. Yeah.
yeah. Spain. It was
España. I love
5
Spain.
a.m. and usually the funniest thing is they treat it like a sport.
Yeah.
So all the locals there, they're just kind of just running with the bulls, and it's usually the Americans that get gored because
Yeah.
they're the ones that are drunk, just hammered.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
Let's try to outrun the bulls. Like,
It's just
genius.
not gonna
You
happen.
should do that.
but yeah, great experience. Probably wouldn't do it again.
No, probably
No.
not at this
Yeah.
point.
There's something you don't need to. Like I said, it's just Cool. All right, next, moving on.
I like my life.
Super cool.
Yeah, See, those things are no joke when they get you. They're not playing.
No.
You might be joking around with your buddies, but they're not. They truly want to. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right through you. All right,
they
let's
can.
get to some fun questions, or you have something else?
No.
Yeah,
we
good.
could go. We could go to.
We
Some
got
fun
his
questions.
training, got his how he got here. He's been with us for a couple of years. He's great. We've got great. I mean, everybody that's seen you loves you, so that's a bonus. Anything else important want to know about you like that? Not really. I think it's. I mean, are you? Well, I ask this then. Have you thought about, or are you kind of set on being a massage therapist and kind of expanding
probably
from
where I
there,
would go.
or
Yeah.
do you see yourself going back to school and trying to do something else?
That's a thought I always just kind of go back and forth on for
tough.
a while. But I think right now I'm at a place where, going back to how I use massage therapy as just kind of one of the tools.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. It's like our ART for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, getting my ART cert, corrective exercise cert, the one that I'm working on right now and plan to take the test is the CSCS, the strength and conditioning. And then I'm a Hyrox certified coach as well. And just like these different things, I want to get my, FMS, be able to screen people and just kind of figure out different ways to help people.
For sure.
Yeah, right. Like I see a person and they need help. I just want to be able to pull out of my toolbox and just be able to help them out.
Yeah.
That being said, within the right guidelines, right? You guys are the doctors.
Oh yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, there's always the fine line.
Yeah.
Because I do know a lot of masseuses that do diagnose things and act doctor like. For
sure.
And it's not even an ego thing for us. It's more like, be careful because if something's missed.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a bad rabbit hole to go down. So
Yeah,
totally.
that's the only thing. The beauty of I think one of the reasons Daniel liked what we had here is having not just doctors, but you have another massage therapist, you've got PTs, you've got chiros, we have medical doctors that we work with. So you have this nice like umbrella of professionals.
Definitely.
That all of us are lifelong learners. All of us. Everybody wants to keep on learning something, doing something. I'm the same way. And so now I have this like foundation where you can kind of explore options and bounce ideas off people. I had the best one still sleeping in the car. And you can go to these things where you can know like you're AAT certified, but you have, little experience.
Yeah.
So you have me or Dave that can actually help you with other things.
For sure.
And like learn more.
Yeah.
And become better at it and more, attuned with how these things work. So when you have those clients you talk about, you go, okay, I've learned this, so I can take this on. I can do this. And diagnostically, most things, there's always the fine line, but most things, once you do a little ART on them, you're really going to help them out.
Totally.
Yeah. And you're in an interesting position too. I just thought this just literally popped in my head. People will sometimes, when they have back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, knee pain, toe pain, whatever, they generally will go to a masseuse sometimes first. And kind of like this, I hope it's so simple, you'll be able to figure this out, saying you'll be able to massage it out and do something. Does that provide you a really cool opportunity to be kind of like, see people in their like worst states of pain, where they can't walk or they've heard this hurts or whatever, and get to work on them and do your expertise.
Definitely.
And it's kind of cool, and it kind of fulfills that piece of you.
For sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so
Like, cool. Yeah, we've heard of Dan, the massage therapist.
Daniel.
Dan, I'm
His
sorry.
name is Daniel. It's not
that's
that
correct.
hard. It's not that hard.
Yeah. I still
By
blame
some
Tom
kids.
for this.
Yeah. So we've heard of Daniel, the massage therapist, and then I'll call your alter ego Dan.
Yeah. My mom calls me Danny, and some of my friends call me Danny. So I have
I like
a
Danny.
ton
Danny's
of
fun.
different.
I would call Hyrox Danny.
Yeah,
Massage Daniel.
There you go.
There we go. Professional Daniel.
Yeah, professional Dan.
Play-
we've
play
heard
guy.
of,
Dan sounds
Danny.
more professional now.
I don't
I think
know.
Daniel. No, Daniel.
Oh, Daniel is?
Although
Yeah, really?
you do have the best tagline.
Oh yeah.
I am still jealous of this to this day.
Yeah. So I think it was me and Justin at the time when we were screwing around and did something with your last name. So his last name is how would you pronounce it?
Beck.
So I think we might have ran it through Chat GPT, or I was just being dumb. And I said, yeah, you could just book with Beck. And we just looked at each other. I was like, that's
Yeah,
That's
it
the
works.
coolest
Hold
tagline.
on,
Book with
hold
Beck.
on to
It's
that.
like done.
Totally
Okay,
works.
cool.
Yeah.
It's like book with T. Book with check. Book. It doesn't work.
Nope.
Book with. It just
That's
doesn't.
not gonna work.
Book with Beck. It's like bam.
there you go. you
I'm
go.
jealous.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, that's
There you go.
yeah. Seriously, that's one of those.
So outside the training stuff and outside the massage
Outside of
therapy
Danny's
stuff,
world and Daniel's world.
yeah. How
does Dan do?
What does Dan do? That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah. Like, what do I do for fun?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man. I would
Any
say
hobbies outside of
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lay 'em
yeah.
on us.
For sure. Yeah, like going back to, I'm a pretty adventurous guy. I love hikes.
Mm-hmm.
I love traveling. I try to do that.
Where's the most recent place you've traveled?
I just
Vegas
actually
does not count.
yeah. It's still kind of work related because with the gym we've been working with some professional basketball players from overseas, and I got really close to one of the guys, and he's a really rad dude. His name's Hunter. Shout out.
What's up, Hunter?
And so him and I, he's in the States for off season, so he's been kind of traveling but also working hard. But when he travels, we went to Idlewild 3 weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And then Big Bear this past weekend.
Nice.
So just these little getaways.
Yeah, those are the best kind.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah, but I guess I'm in a stage of my life where I'm just kind of like trying to grind it out. And before all this, like I've just been my life has been very routine, and I have no problem with it. It's actually kind of peaceful. Just kind of getting after things and training and doing the work. That's kind of in my life right now.
Yeah,
It's kind of where we are.
Yeah.
At your age, and now I
Yeah.
can speak from an old guy stance, but at your age, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Explore some things, check out some things, think about some stuff, learn some other stuff. And then, like, I didn't figure myself out till I had to have been 29, 30 before I finally started becoming whatever it is I am today.
Yeah.
Took me forever. But it's like I have curiosities, and I was never comfortable with just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, because I was going to be a doctor, but I had no idea what kind of doctor, no idea what I wanted to do, and I just tripped and fell into these things. So you're doing the right thing.
And it worked out.
It's so far so good. Knock on wood. That's all I can say. But it's fun. It's always fun for me, and this is the old guy part still. Sorry. It's always fun for me to see the young guys because I watch you hustle. Again, my biggest frustration and biggest happiness with you is hustle and go and do stuff. My only concern, and this is the dad side of me, he's heard it a few times, is overdoing it a little bit. Do you ever worry about being too busy and not getting that downtime for you? Or do you feel like your hikes and you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. I've definitely felt some of the effects of just getting after it.
Yeah.
But I tend to kind of surround myself with also go-getters as well.
Sure.
So like we kind of, we'll have times where we go out and eat and just kind of spending time with like-minded people, like it gives me energy.
For sure.
So I think that's one of the ways it helps. But yeah, like I'll go on hikes every now and then. I'll go on my runs. Running has been a very meditative thing for me. Like,
I saw my wife because you're nuts.
Like,
Running sounds like annoying.
I pick and choose what times I do go on a run.
What do you mean?
Like sunset run.
Oh, okay.
Locations,
Sure.
Like I'll go to the beach if I want something kind of like, just for leisure.
Sure.
And then, there's different levels of running, right? Obviously, like some days it'll be an easy long run, and then some days it'll be, tempo.
Sure.
So I kind of mix it up, keep things interesting. But yeah, it's just been this kind of like way of escape. Put on a good podcast or some good music. And
who do you listen to?
Are
you allowed to say?
No, yeah.
Well, some people are very secretive, like they don't really want to let you in too much.
Well, I think like everybody, it just depends on what you're doing.
Mood.
Like when I'm in like trying to get ready for competition, AC/DC has been the go-to.
Oh, music or the podcast?
Wait, podcast. Podcast.
Oh yeah, whoa. You're too young for AC/DC.
I love AC. Oh man.
Yeah, but what do you? Well, you're a musician. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays bass and drums, and you can't sing, can you?
I wouldn't give a mic to myself. But
Enough said. So, okay, sorry. Yeah, what podcast listen to?
Podcasts. I like Chris Williamson. He's been really good. Hormozy.
Okay, yeah.
Joe Rogan. I used to listen to more.
Okay.
But I kind of lean more towards these guys. I'll watch YouTube, and there's a couple guys on Hyrox, like Hyrox athletes, and I'll listen to kind of the stuff that they're doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. All right.
cool. Do you
want to segue right into music?
You want to segue?
What do you listen to? Yeah. What's your music?
What do I listen to?
Yeah. You have a preference, like cruising in your Jeep?
Country during the summers, for sure.
During the summers.
That's the first time I heard someone specifically.
That's the only time in my life I ever heard summer. Like, yeah, good.
When I was younger, I never really liked country.
Okay, neither did I.
Yeah, and then
it was annoying.
It was my high school when I was a junior. My buddy's been inviting me to this like lake houseboats trip that his church always did.
Nice.
And I got to go on it for like 3 years, like one time as a student and 2 years as a camp, like a camp
counselor type.
Counselor,
Those are fun. That's a fun time.
Yeah, for sure.
And all they played during that entire week while we were on a boat, rocking a little bit, was country music. And that's like automatically what I associate that kind of music to.
Oh, that's cool.
I understand that.
I just like it now. It's more enjoyable. A lot of music today to me is just not.
And there's a message. Yeah, I love the message part. It's
Much
really nice.
much better. Although didn't Beyonce win an award in country music?
Yeah.
That one's too much crossover. You got to
Yeah.
just. Sorry, I'm
Like,
just,
I
like
understood,
the
but I don't think she deserved the reward for
No,
that.
no. But there's some good. Who's it? Jelly Roll? Is he considered country?
He has country leanings.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's a country.
There's a couple
person.
of others too. I'm all ever since I was a kid. I'm horrible at names of musicians and songs.
Yeah.
I know the song if I hear it, but I have no idea who sings it. I've never have. So I have some country that I do like to listen to.
Yeah.
I can picture their faces and their voices, but I don't know their name. But anyway, so go ahead. And that's summer, so it's spring.
I'm pretty
Beyonce.
versatile. I like folk rock. Like
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
The Lumineers, Mumford and Sons. They've been like, at the pinnacle for music for me. And then Chance Peña's has been a pretty
Yeah, no chance.
pretty awesome.
Nice. All right. What won't you listen to? What's like just an absolute
Metal?
like, nope.
Yeah, I don't like metal.
That's fair.
But you like AC/DC.
That's rock.
Yeah, it's actually the beginnings of metal.
Yeah,
it?
that's
Yeah.
like the
That's
infant stage.
when you call
Yeah.
metal
Or screamo. Sorry, screamo. Is that different?
So screamo is a type. It gets really complicated.
Yeah, I'm already
Screamo-
lost.
Yeah,
I don't
screamo
even
is
know
a
what you're
type of
talking
metal.
about. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Screamo, it's a
See,
fun.
I'm a hairband guy.
Yeah.
So we're back AC/DC. We got Def Leppard. Like
Yeah.
that was when I was, well, not your guys' age, a little younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my first CD was Def Leppard and blew out a speaker on the first song because I didn't know how that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Going out.
fun.
When I'm working out or when I'm teaching my classes, that's all I put on.
Metal's great.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the early stages. Well, it's like the hard rock metal. That's where they're
Well, I mean,
getting
even
to.
rap has 16 different genres now. It's
Yeah.
like it's just whatever. I keep things simple.
It gets complicated. The screamo stuff. I mean, I technically can listen to it. I used to. I had a
The
bunch of-
name sounds awful.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to anything screamo. It doesn't sound like
I had
music.
friends that were in a band, and that's what got me into
just
it.
scream.
Yep, it's a different skill.
You're going to call that a skill.
It's a skill.
I'm going to stop talking now.
I thought it was just they're just screaming, but there's like breath controls and everything like that. That's just the nerdy
Breath
part.
controls.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's a different
so,
musician.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I know. Yeah, it's among the other talents he
But
has.
I can also agree. Now that I'm a little older, I can probably only listen to really, really hard stuff like that for like 30 seconds.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I could still listen. I still love. There's a 80s Essentials or something on Apple.
Yeah.
It's got like the rock. They call it rock. That's true. They call it rock, not metal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then there's a metal one too. I think it does have a little. That's. I think ACD's metal. Anyway. Okay. So moving on. Okay, we got spring cover. We got summer cover. We got winter.
Oh, Buble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't defrost Mariah Carey for those times too?
Dude.
Oh,
Mariah
we my daughter loves Mariah Carey's Christmas songs.
She just gets
Oh,
defrosted during that
loves,
time.
yes,
Then
yes.
Goes back and
It's
freezes up
just
again.
you can't not listen to it.
Yep.
Yeah, Booby, Buble.
Buble.
Yeah, you ever seen him in Vegas?
Buble?
Yeah, isn't that where he lives now? He just
I don't know.
constantly does shows there.
Really?
That's right here.
He probably just does a residency.
Yeah,
That's all I know.
Anyway, all right. Past music, got that. What else want to know about this guy?
All right. So obviously, you say you've done a bunch of events here, whether that's like the Hyrox, a couple half marathons. How often are you training throughout the week?
Yeah, I guess that it just kind of depends on where I'm at with like when the next race is.
Yeah.
So right now I'm not scheduled for another race until October. That's going to be my half marathon in Long Beach.
So you're in like a off-season-ish type of
Kind
thing?
of, yeah.
So what are you doing? 3 days a week, 5 days a week?
For sure. Right now I kind of toned down my running a little bit. So I'm running instead of the 25, 30 miles per week, I'm doing 12 to 15.
Okay.
12 to 15, and then doing a lot of corrective work. So I'm working on strengthening my adductors, hamstrings, glutes, obliques, especially because as a runner, those 4 muscle groups are key, right? And so working on doing a lot of that ATG stuff, Ben Patrick stuff, and then just I went into a strength phase, so strength block where I want to work on my deadlifts, back squats, just get strong.
Sure.
And I just want to make sure that the mileage that I'm about to put on next month is I'm going to be able to handle, right? Because
Any run technique stuff?
technique, like how
Like running technique.
Oh, for sure. I'm always kind of continuing to analyze how I'm running as
Sure.
I'm running, and there's always corrections that need to be made because, like as you guys know, I used to be a sprinter, so
Yeah, it's gonna be
the
different from long
techniques
distance.
are way different.
Yes and no.
Okay.
There are nuances. But running the actual sprint at, say, a 100-meter dash, or dash, I call it a dash.
Yeah.
100-meter dash.
Yeah.
How old are you, dude? 67.
Because you're a football guy, you have 40 meter dash.
Shoot, that's That's still, we always laugh about that. Like,
Yeah.
why are 300-pound men running 40 meters? They never run unless they're going down to celebrate, but they're not really timing that run.
True.
But yeah, right around 60, 70, you should have a very similar gait pattern, a different tempo
For sure.
when you're running. So as I was curious, because I'm a pose method coach, so I work with those type of things. But I was curious how do you adjust those mechanics?
Yeah.
What are you doing, or do you do it at all? I was just curious.
Yeah, I don't do anything specific.
Okay.
I just I am still working on my form, making sure my chest is relaxed,
Posture and- yep.
posture's good. The breathing aspect is a huge thing for me.
Sure.
And I think that comes from just kind of sometimes being a little too tense up here.
A lot of people run that way.
Yeah. And then
Stress running.
Yeah, and then my hips, I want to make sure it's forward even as I fatigue. Right. I've noticed myself during the races, like later in the races, as I kind of fatigue, my hips will kind of come back a little bit, and I turn more into like a heel strike person.
Right.
So I want to make sure that I'm strong enough to basically hold that, but also conscious and aware enough to
Sure.
to know that that's not the way I should be doing it.
Yeah. It's hard when you fatigue. It's just
Right.
It's gonna be
hard.
part of the risks.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
part of the. It's like sport is not function.
Yep.
So there's no professional athlete I know that's functional
Yeah.
unless they work on that piece on the side, because sport kind of sucks it out of you.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's a good thing to do. I'm glad to hear. I was just curious.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, cool. Going more kind of down that rabbit hole of like, we were just talking about Hyrox stuff and different training events and everything like that. When you get ready for an event, before it happens, do you have any rituals that you do?
Ooh.
Yeah, because I know like for some people, like, hey, if they're about to compete, they just have to go use the restroom a
Do
little
you
bit.
start beating your chest and screaming?
Yeah.
Like what?
I
What do
have
you
to.
do?
Yeah. Just listen to AC/DC and start beating my chest.
Do you really?
Do you?
Don't tease me, Daniel. I'll start talking about that.
No.
That'll be a regular on the podcast.
I'm trying to think.
Because I'd want to see that out here right before you go to see
110%. That would be on the cover.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'll listen to some music.
Are you a quiet motivator, or you start physically
I get hyped.
Yeah.
I get hyped.
like are you bouncing and jumping and
Yeah, a little
Nice,
bit.
okay.
Yeah. Because that just comes back from doing those like short distance.
Yeah.
Short like bursts of energy.
The high intensity
kind of
stuff, yeah.
High intensity
Yep.
sports. So transitioning from that to something that's going to be endurance and longer duration, I've learned to kind of calm things down a little bit.
that's good.
And I think that's super key because you don't want your heart rate all the way up there from the start, right?
How'd you
wanna
plan on
kinda-
finishing,
Yeah,
though?
exactly. so I think slowing things down and making
Good.
sure I'm regulated and calm. Maybe not too much AC/DC, a little bit here and there. I think that's more training. And during the competitions, I'll listen to some quieter music.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice.
I have to definitely put in an effort to kind of
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
take I'm a power athlete like him. Like the idea of running 400 meters is long distance.
Yeah,
I really want to do that. So like I have to calm up. That's a thing you have to do.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
And Hyrox
that's good.
does a crazy job they try to get you there. Then you go into this like tent and then they play this like crazy video where you're like, it's like, oh, like they're getting you amped. They're getting you
Oh,
ready.
got you. Yeah, they want you to
Yeah.
perform. Yes,
Yep.
yes.
So trying to calm myself down there is definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Try
wait,
to work
dude,
on
it's I was a CrossFit. Like Hyrox is the newer version kind of thing, right?
Yep.
CrossFit was my thing back in the day, but you got to a point now where you had 30,000 people in the stand screaming and yelling. And it's just like,
Yeah, it's incredible.
that's
Yeah.
and most people, like I was fortunate in some settings to have fans. I signed autographs, but you get those settings.
Yep.
So you talked about earlier, we walk in, you're like, whoa, it's kind of
Yeah.
a neat.
For sure.
It's a really cool thing to feel.
For sure.
Yeah, and I do love that. I do love like a CrossFit and your Hyrox. I do love those sports that are kind of allowing the fans and the athletes
Yeah.
to be somewhat inclusive in a way.
Involved, yeah.
So you can actually not be a participant, but you kind of like you feel like you're in the mud with them.
Yeah.
Like you can feel their pain, and God knows you can see it because some of those events, man, are woo. So
To continue down the Hyrox train there, obviously you talked about multiple stations there, multiple runs.
Yeah.
Is there one that you just hate?
Oh yeah.
Good question.
Like no matter how hard you train for it, you're like, this
Yeah.
one.
I think most people would say burpees.
I love burpees.
The burpee broad
Yeah, I
jumps.
think you'd love
I love
Yeah,
burpees.
but I'm kind of good at it, you
Yeah.
know. So I feel like that's one of the things that I have to be good at.
Yeah.
I would say the tough one would be the sandbag lunges because
Okay.
that happens. That's towards the tail end of the event.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
So your legs,
It's hard.
they're bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've
That's why
done
it's put there.
7K. Yeah.
That's literally the point.
So you do that, and then you do 100 wall balls. So the wall balls, no matter how
wiped.
trained you are, you're pretty wiped.
Yeah.
So
And wall balls, honestly, the funny thing in CrossFit, there's some stuff they did that I was like, this does not make sense. Other stuff, I'm like, that's one of the best things in the world. Wall balls to me was one of the best things.
really,
But they did something fun. This is just where we chime in on interesting things.
yeah.
For a very brief period of time, they tried to do a wall ball where you had to squat in between the ball hitting and coming down.
Interesting.
After about 25 concussions and a few bruised necks, they stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Because if you're coming up the wrong time and you
wonder how many
look up
cervical
and
fractures.
wham, it's like, so please don't try it.
No.
But it was like,
Guess what I'm doing today?
we get a call. I can't come in this week. What happened? I sprained my neck doing, yeah. But it was funny. There was one person that did 50-pound wall balls.
Oh dang.
And I was like, so of
rough.
course I tried it. That didn't last long. But I did do 30.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still pretty good.
20 is the standard for you guys. Yeah.
Yep.
With
For the
CrossFit,
pro. For the pro.
Pro,
So it's
okay.
actually even lighter for the men's open or
Lower down, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like standard, but then there were some events where they would actually pump it up, bring 30s out and 40s out. And I was like, that is gnarly.
That's
Like, just
rough.
in case, just so for people out there to understand, when 40 pounds is falling from 10 feet in the air,
You gotta catch it.
velocity, gravity is pulling the sucker down pretty fast. If you're sweaty, you're about to get a face full of ball.
Jeez.
It does not feel good. Have you ever been whacked?
With a ball?
Yeah. In the face?
I can't say I have.
Oh, you haven't
Yeah.
lived yet? Okay. When you do
Okay,
and it
you wanna
whacks
try
you, it's just because you're catching it, you're staring at it, you know it's coming, and whap, and you're like, Jesus. Like I didn't time that right, or it wasn't, or the slippery, oh, that's the worst.
What are we talking about right now, Doc?
Wall balls
Oh, okay.
in the face. Don't make me find out when you step out the room. All right, ready, guys? Get the balls ready. And hey, Daniel,
Yeah, I might try that.
what is your favorite port? Like, no matter where it's placed in the event, first, last, middle, doesn't matter. What's your favorite part of, or favorite exercise or modality?
Would still be the burpees because you said you're pretty good at them. Or?
I don't like doing the burpees,
That's
but
it.
I
You're
like.
just good at them.
I try to like it because I have to be. All right. Yeah.
Positive
Yeah.
attitude. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
What do you like though? What do you really enjoy? Like when you see it, you're like, yes, that's my jam.
The farmer carries are pretty
Enjoy
enjoyable
those.
to look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's just quick.
Yeah.
It's really quick,
Yeah.
right? You're
Very to the point.
Kind of you're sprinting it. And yeah, you just have to have strong grip. And I'm an MT. We work with soft tissue, so
It helps.
yeah, I feel like all three of us would be really good at farmer carries.
Yeah. Did you do the grip test?
No, he wasn't here. That's why I can tell.
Oh, so I'm technically not the strongest we know of.
No, Jogty's definitely the strongest. I will
It's
say
just
that
in the
right now.
clinic, mind you. This is not a worldwide competition.
I think
This is
his
like at
I
our
think
address.
His is stronger than mine, but yours still blows everyone out of the water.
Yeah.
I wish
there's-
he blows it. But
Did you? Yeah, you did.
You work on
you did. Because I capped out at close to like 120, which is not bad.
bad.
Yeah, he to squirting around 147.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, all right, cool. Yeah, I was very curious. Like everybody has a thing they enjoy. Like mine was always cleans. Any clean, power
yeah.
clean, hang clean, didn't matter what it was. I love cleans, and burpees.
Yep.
Burpees are just fun.
I get that with you and burpees because like I'm good at squats, but when they're that heavy, I don't enjoy them.
Yeah, I'll do it because I have to, but I
Yeah.
really would not choose this
Yeah,
on
just-
a checkbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get that. All right, cool. Should we ask the animal question?
Oh, we
No.
got to chime in.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go. What's your favorite color? Favorite color?
I'd say like olive green.
Olive green. That's very specific.
No, I like wearing olive green.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I don't like green at all. I like the
I'm
color.
surprised, actually.
I don't wear my palette of color is
That's
like
probably-
4 colors.
No, I found out like color analysis is a real thing from one of my friends.
What do you mean?
They put colors around your face. It's big in Korea too. They put colors around your face to see what works best for you. Are you a summer or a winter? I'm like, I'm just buy clothes. Buy
I'm
black.
a summer guy.
Yeah,
I'm
just-
color.
Just buy the black clothes. It's gonna go with everything.
Although when I'm tan, I look really good in black.
yeah,
I'm just kidding. Okay, favorite color? Olive green,
Yeah.
not regular green. Olive green, not forest green. Olive green. Do you like olives?
Yeah.
Nice.
Love olives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got favorite color.
we already talked about music.
Music good.
The animal question. Did we do that
We
one?
go for it.
All right,
We're
cool.
jumping. This is a great one. I love this one.
I'm scared.
We've asked
Should be.
every single person that we've interviewed that works here at the office this question. So we have to stick this in here. If you were an animal, whether real or mythical, or just you can give an answer for both, real or mythical,
One of each.
what would you be?
Dang.
I know it's a deep question.
That's a crazy question.
With mythical one's a fun one.
The mythical.
Yeah.
There's I've never
It's like
even
dragons and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've never even like considered mythical.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dang.
Well, let's go regular animal.
Yeah, no,
Real life.
I would probably every time I go on like a hike that's like high and you see all these birds, you're like, man, it would be great to be one of these birds. Like, look how freeing it is just to
Oh, fly.
yeah. So
I would say, yeah, it'd be a trip to be like
cool.
5,000 feet in the air, just looking down, looking for mice,
yeah,
and just.
so like maybe like a
Yeah.
falcon or
Oh, you're a falcon. I like that.
eagle,
Yeah, very nice.
Do you know what a Maine Coon cat is?
a Maine Coon cat.
Maine Coon.
What is that?
Oh, it's a cat.
We'll look it up later.
I'll look it up right now. I'll show him. I want to see his reaction. So my wife came home one day, and she goes, "I found our next animal." And we're like borderline animal shelter at some points.
Really?
And I was like, "Okay." And she called it. It's called a Maine Coon cat. I was like, "Okay." And she said, "Look it up." And I said, "Okay." And that's a Maine Coon cat.
I think it's huge.
It's enormous. So Maine Coon, if you guys want to look it up out there, anybody, but it's a massive feline.
Yep.
And my first thought, literally the first question out when I saw it was, where does it go to the bathroom? We have 30-pound cats now, where they're older, so 20 pounds.
That's a pet.
That's
That's
a
a
pet.
pet.
Yeah. And they house the litter box. Like, we have to clean out like every other day.
Yeah.
What is this thing going to do? I mean, does it go out? It's like, what do you do with it? Apparently, it's a very calm, chill, wonderful, like house cat. It's just massive. Yeah. And she sends me pictures because our cats are in the 20s. So they're like,
They're
one
really
cat's called Wheezy, another one's called Stinky. They're actually Ron Burgundy and Aquaman, but they have new nicknames.
Yeah.
And Wheezy, because, he's old, he's going to be passing. And so, anyways, she's like, yeah, when we bury them, we're going to just go get this one. And I was like, can we have a month of no litter? I'm just really excited about no litter for a month. Anyway,
One of our clients, are we allowed to talk about clients? No.
As-
not by name.
Not by name. Yeah.
But they have a cat. They like some like exotic cat,
Oh, like a tiger.
like two. You guys,
Bobcat or
you guys
something like
both,
that.
You guys both work with the same client too.
Okay.
But
How do
yeah.
we not know this? Doesn't even come to mind.
Well, hold on. Yeah. So now we can talk about this.
I knew they had animals. I didn't know. Can we talk to them now? I'm gonna have to text them.
Ask him about the Maine Coon.
Yeah, I know, right? I might have actually. Anyway, okay, cool. Moving on. Mythical animal. What do you got in there?
Mythical.
I said griffins just to get you an idea of
I was dragon.
what those are.
Because of the flying part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon would be sick.
Yeah,
Like
dragon
Game of
would be
Thrones. Like Game of Thrones dragon.
Which one would you be?
Oh yeah, that's a great.
Not the one that died.
Well, no, I think got stuck in being a White Walker.
Yeah.
A White Flyer. I just started watching that series again.
Really?
It's been long enough that I can watch it.
I'm at that point
and
where I
not
should
remember
probably go
everything
back.
that happened.
Yeah.
But I forgot everybody dies.
Yeah.
Like I was just like I got to the white wedding one and I just skipped it.
Yeah.
I can't watch that again.
That's trauma.
Because the first, dude, I swear to God, the first time we watched that, wife and I finished it, and it was like 9:45, 10 o'clock. We're like about to bedtime. I was like, honey, I got to watch a comedy, like a comedy special. I got to watch anything. So we put on
depressed.
Ted Lasso. I think because it was like I need some happiness because that was holy shnikes. Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But I did forget that show. Just everybody gets offed. I'm like, don't like anybody. Go on. They're not going to last long.
Yeah, exactly.
Next week they're gone.
That show gave me trust issues for sure.
Totally understand that.
Yeah.
You just think of I laugh because you think about the times back then. Like you ever see the movie Far Away?
No, you
That
told
was
me to go watch that this
Nicole
weekend.
Kidman and Tom Cruise. Basically predicated on the idea of when America was kind of founded and how land was divvied up. And they literally put a stake in the ground. They'd started a line and say, go get your property. And that's how they got land. Well, there's people walking up and just shooting people. And that's now I know. And I'm like, back then was gnarly.
Yeah.
I mean, get the being clean and, think you died of diseases and all like hygiene and stuff take that off the table. It was just brutal.
Yeah.
Just the the Wild West was just crazy.
Everything was weird.
Crazy. Anyway, those are the tangents we tend to go on.
Yeah.
So we got color, we got mythical, we got regular. Anything else we want to know about this guy?
I was going to ask a deeper question about the stuff that he's worked, the people that he's worked with.
We don't have to brag about him.
We kind of have to.
brag about him. God.
Kind of have to.
Who gets to brag about the people that helped him get there?
That's
No,
why,
I don't
that's
want-
why it's
no,
there.
no,
That's why it's there.
We're
I
not
have a
doing
lot
that.
of people to thank.
Yes.
No, you don't. So it's funny. People do like thank you. I'm like, thank me or whoever else for the opportunity.
Yeah.
But you're the reason you got it and kept it. And that's the one thing I'm always like, it's so amazing to do that because he just got.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you knew, but he came up for our OTAs.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
he's been,
Congrats.
So it's
That's
like
awesome.
it's a really cool experience because again, that's not a lot of people that
It's
get
not
those
normal.
experiences.
No.
So we had I'm affiliated with the Chargers, so I'm their team chiropractor, and so we got a call last summer that a couple teams were coming on to Southern California they were having some work done in their facility, wanted to come out and do like was it preseason or technically kind of camp? I think it was preseason. Came out for a few weeks and were looking for people.
Yeah.
And so they called me up for chiropractic care, of course, and asked if I knew any masseuses. And I was like, well, I happen to know Daniel, the masseuse.
Is this last summer? The
Yes,
Saints?
yeah. So Daniel, who is a sports fan, as you've all heard, was beyond excited. I think he might have become a Saints fan on the side, but he was able to work with the Saints and the Raiders too, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So how was that experience?
Oh my God, it was honestly one of the. It was really cool.
And how big are those gentlemen?
They're pretty big. They're bigger with pads on.
Oh, of course,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, monsters.
But yeah, like it was. It's kind of like looking back on that. It was pretty surreal.
Yeah.
I grew up watching some of those players, and I'm a huge sports fan. I
Yeah.
like if there's like a hidden skill about me, it'd be knowing like a full roster down to bottom, even on the most random teams.
That's why he's commissioned.
And, yeah, I am the
Yeah, he
commission-
makes up rules on the fly. We find out mid-season. Wait, you can do what now?
That is a crazy thing. Yeah. So like, yeah, I think one time like that was like my favorite player growing up. Oh, okay.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a IPA.
But yeah,
Just
you
say
know,
one of the players.
just one
Big
of the
fan.
players, huge fan. Just growing up.
Well, it's funny to see, like, you've watched them.
Oh, for sure.
Like on
yeah.
the Chargers, the quarterback Rivers.
Yeah.
Like, you watched them on TV for decades. And all of a sudden
years.
you're standing 5 feet away from them.
Yep.
And you're
Yep.
like, oh, yeah. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. The cool thing is, like, even at my other clinic before I came to SHARC, we were also, the clinic itself was also associated with the Chargers.
Oh, yes, I know where you're at now.
So,
I didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I walked in the first time I was meet Tom. Tom's another PT we work with here, just to shake hands and actually like meet him. And half the team was in there.
Oh, yeah.
I was like throwing knuckles and high five, and I'm like, oh, this is where you guys go.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Got it. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the players, funny story, one of the players gave me tickets to one of the games. And,
Oh, that's cool.
And that's actually what kind of got me to be a Chargers fan, because I've just been kind of like a free agent. I like players
Yeah,
more
and
than
you like
teams.
sport. Like to watch
I
football
love
games.
I love teams.
Like Red Zone's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But funny enough, like he gave me those tickets. I was like, yeah, let's go Chargers. Like super stoked about the team. And then
What year was this?
I want to say like 2-3 years ago. 2-3 years
Oh,
ago.
recent. Okay.
Yeah, recent.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And yeah, and then he went to the Chiefs, and so it was like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's funny. We same thing. We found out the Chiefs were playing the Chargers in Brazil, and we kind of laughed because there was a question. He goes, "Is a home game for which one?"
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, it's us." He goes, "Thank God." And I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because home games in Kansas City are another animal. Like they finished the national anthem, it was home of the brave,
Yeah.
home of the Chiefs, and the whole stadium erupts.
Right.
I get chills. I just got chills now every time.
Yeah.
And he goes, "It's SoFi, it's kind of
It's Tim.
60-40. It's a different split on fans." So he was very happy it was our home game.
Wait, so the Brazil game is our home game, so
Chargers
we get
home
to
game.
play with the Chiefs at Arrowhead, right?
Yeah.
So he wants that?
He likes that better.
Really?
The home game.
I know. I get it's like
But when you have
that's a huge division rival that you get a disadvantage from.
well, that's the Chargers sometimes, man. We just get like I don't think there's been a team that's done the Hall of Fame preseason game
Yeah.
and traveled out of country in the same season, and we got that one. So we start in 2 weeks now. Normally we'd start like towards the end of July. Now we
Yeah.
start July 14th or 13th. They start, and then we're off we fly out Thursday for a Friday night game, or no, Wednesday for a Thursday night game
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Canton,
I just remember that schedule.
and then 4 weeks later off to Brazil, which is a 12-hour flight.
That is honestly so gnarly.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, but it's So back to it all. Yeah, so it's kind of a neat experience for you. So you got to become a little bit of a Saints fan, and
Definitely. Yeah.
probably
and
not a Raider fan though.
I still keep in touch with some of those players.
That's
so
cool.
It's been
As you should.
a really cool
They're great guys.
really, really awesome.
Yeah,
Down to earth. Some of those players are just really, really good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think they're these like vicious dudes that are that they are.
Oh, on the field they are. Yeah.
There's a switch that they have to turn on.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But off the field, they're super. They're like us. They're just chill.
Yeah.
One of the boys.
It's I remember the first game when you walk on and these guys who you see in the locker room or see in the training room or whatever, and there's some big guys out there. Some guys are just look like they work out and they're athletes. Then they put the pads on. They add 3 or 4 inches in height. They get on the field and they do something. You're like, what was that?
Yes.
I've seen it hit. I'm like, there's no way these guys are getting up. I mean, I literally was like, my eyes were like huge, and they would jump up and toss the ball down and go back in the huddle again. I was like, that was a literal train wreck right there.
Incredible.
And the athleticism in these guys is mind blowing. Mind blowing.
Yeah, I was there for the last practice of OTAs.
Yes.
We got there a little.
We shot up early just to watch.
Yeah, they were on the field practicing. Like it wasn't like light practice. We're done. Like no, they're practicing real hard.
Yeah, it was pretty game speed.
Immediately after, they went to the strength training room in pads, started lifting and throwing around weight like toys. I was like, this is different.
It's a different animal, man. I would say you're going to train like the pros. Like Hyrox, you take seriously. You want to train like the pros, and you're learning and doing the recovery like the pros.
For sure.
Right? Because without that, you're going to fall apart. It's just kind of the way it is. So, but you watch those guys go, and you're like, this is another level.
Yeah. Then they come to like the treatment rooms. Chillest guys in the world.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up, man? I'm going to go shower real quick. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Please do. Thank you.
So, wait, and then please be nice to the Chargers. I know you're a Rams fan.
Yeah.
Oh, busted.
Hold on.
Different divisions.
You're a Niner fan.
I never said that.
Dude,
I never said that. Never said that.
Oh, shoot.
Never said that. Different division. Born and raised.
But so you had really cool opportunities. I've had really cool opportunities because talk to you. So
Well, like I said, it's I only bring people around that I think are, like you said, surround yourself with certain people. So that's kind of the expectation around here too. Is that I expect you guys to be ethical, good, caring people with your patients and clients and things you do. Same thing. Like you're just you went up there and you guys both gotten really like you'll be surprised how many people get in those situations and muck it up. You know what I mean? There's people going to ask for autographs or just do kind of inappropriate things, considering they're fortunate enough to be around, doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Do your job. That's it.
Sure.
Now, if you build a relationship, that's a different animal, right? So it's I have a couple of stories like that, but it's like one of those things where you guys, you have to earn it too. But you guys always showed me you're very good guys. I was excited for you because it's just like I said, it's just not a normal experience. Yeah. So, yeah.
I feel like we've talked about a lot of things here.
We got Daniel covered.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, outside of, I don't know, favorite food?
Maybe your like fourth secret
What is
identity.
your
We don't
favorite
know.
food?
Favorite food?
Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot to ask that.
Man, I keep it super simple. If I had a choice, I would just go Mediterranean.
What's your favorite Korean dish?
Ooh, there's something called seolleongtang,
What
which
is
is
it
just
called?
like
the army
beef.
soup, right?
army soup.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
No. I think I know what you're talking about, but this one's just like beef broth.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of the
beef
one.
broth.
Okay.
With like just soup. It's just very nutritious.
But you know
Sure.
what I'm talking about. It's like called army soup or whatever. Yeah. That's my bad.
Army soup. Interesting.
You guys, I'm laughing right now because we have an inside joke with one of the players that we're working with right now, and he looked at my feet when we were training together one time, and he's like, "Dude, you have military feet." just like the most random thing that like an American.
What qualifies as military feet?
I don't know. It was just I guess it was extra veiny that day. I don't.
Extra veiny that day.
No, but like it's just like an inside thing. Like one of us, like the people that have lived here, they would never say something like that.
Yeah.
But my buddy and I, we just cracked up because it's just so random.
That's a pretty random
Like,
thing.
who says
I wouldn't
that?
that wouldn't even come to mind looking at your feet.
Military. Nope.
Yeah.
So now that's just like an inside thing that just gets said every
funny.
other second, and that's so funny. You just said the army.
Right? I thought that's what it was. I'm probably thinking of something else.
I think it's like spicy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like kimchi jjigae or something like
Yeah,
that.
it might be that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But like
good.
I got soup.
I just eat rice, ground beef, ground turkey or chicken, and then some veggies.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, our diets are
kimchi.
always boring.
Just super boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you have more candy than he and I combined.
Yeah. Probably.
It's funny to me, the powerlifters, even football players, these guys, they
Simple carbs.
pound candy.
Just simple carbs, right? Just
It's
energy.
kind of, it's not good.
Theoretically.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Here's like the culture around that. It's just like, oh yeah, we know it's a simple carb. It can work. You can just do rice, right beforehand.
Yeah.
But like the funny part is someone's gonna bring it into the gym,
Yeah.
and we're all sitting down.
Yeah. And you have long periods of waiting.
Start passing it around. I'm like, okay, well, this one's good. This one's not good. This one's
Oh,
good.
trust me, when we travel, if we're gone for a few days,
Yeah.
it's like a 3-day trip or something like that, my willpower can only last so long.
Yeah.
Because they have snacks everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really hard to like. Well, okay, you've been there, you've seen.
I have one funny story about that, right? So we're getting off the field, we're taking off, and they have some snacks right by the field, right?
Yes.
They have the highest performance food out there in Uncrustables.
Pre-cut, right?
Pre-cut. That was the best part. It's pre-cut, but even better. You know, like those taco stands for hard shell tacos?
Mm-hmm.
So like the greater, they're in those, listed out in flavors. So I was walking by, I was like, I'm telling all my friends, right? If you want to be a high performance athlete, you gotta eat Uncrustables.
Honestly, PB&J's.
PB&J for sure.
Yeah.
I don't like. They're just too mush for me.
It's hilarious.
But man, it is the first. Just to side tangent, we'll close the sucker up for you real quick. My first flight going to the Niners preseason game, first year of the team. Didn't even have a seat for me yet because that's how new I was to the whole process. I think they went through 5 cases of Uncrustables. It's a 45-minute flight. Yeah. The I don't want to call them like stewardesses. I guess I don't
flight
know.
attendants.
Flight attendants. There we go. Was just tray after tray out of the back. I mean, it was like walk down this way, hand them out, walk back, empty tray, walk back, and then she did this for like 20 minutes straight. And I was just looking around like, what the heck is going on around here? Yeah. And then I got served my steak and broccoli. And I was like, this is a whole different world.
Just the fact that they were cut in half in the taco trays.
Yeah. Think of the time it took to do that. Just what'd you do today? Cut Crustables in half? There you go. Made them tacos.
Well, what's funny to me is like if you actually look at the nutrition facts on it, they're like close to 300 calories per one.
Yeah.
So
when you're exercising like that, yeah, it's crazy. Like, that Crustables is actually really good for ultra.
Yeah.
That's actually perfect.
I just don't like the seed oils in there.
Well, the Crustables, let me say this, PB&J is good for you for 100. The seed oils are always there, but you're kind of inevitable right now with those.
That's true.
It's really, we're not going to talk about this right now.
Yeah,
we'll bring you on for a food one. Since you are into the health thing, we could actually jump in and have a nice, fun food talk with you. But the seed oils are, let's just say everything you read isn't always what you think it is. So there's a lot of things that get into food that shouldn't be there. They're just simply repurposed, rechemicaled, so they're not classified, but it's the same thing.
I see.
Yeah. So health food's hard to find. Yeah. I'll tell you the funniest joke, and this is it. I swear to God. Funniest thing I ever heard in my life. Health food guy that I follow online came in. He was talking with some interview guy, and the guy's like, "Let me ask you a question. Sure. Does your grocery store have a health food section?" And the guy goes, "Yes." And he goes, "Then what's the rest of the store?" And I was like, "That's really funny."
Yeah.
I'm like, so the health food's over there. What's all this?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's pretty good.
And then this is in like OC.
This is every store around the country. And we're in the bubble, right, where there's like health food. I can't really say that. I've been around. But we definitely have an emphasis on health food, being organic and this and that, more than some other places might.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he said the health food section is a section of the store, then what's the rest of the store?
Yeah.
And that just made me laugh. Like I never thought about it that way. I just knew where to go to get what I needed, but I never thought it that way. So, all right.
Good perspective.
Well, Daniel, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It was fun to get to know you.
Yeah.
We'll have this thing posted up, and you guys can get to know who our masseuse is. Yeah. And if you guys like him enough, we get enough thumbs up, we'll bring him back on.
Sweet.
He's just going to go on different accounts.
just like.
Make sure I am liked everywhere.
It's like
all right,
Beck 1, Beck 2.
Book with Bake.
Yep.
Beck or Bake? I think I've been saying that wrong.
Doesn't matter.
So let me say it right.
It matters.
Book with Beck.
Book with Beck. It's great, guys. Swear to best, whatever. Anyway, we're going to close the show out. I'm Doc T.
I'm Dr. David.
Daniel.
See you guys next time.